Welcome to the JavaScript basics. So today we will discuss about the ES6 concept. ES6, short for the ECMAScript 2015, is a major update to the ECMAScript standard, which is the specification of the JavaScript. It's based on the based on the JavaScript. So basically, the ES6 introduced many new features and enhancement to the language, making it more powerful, expressive, and easier to work with. So some of the key features and enhancements introduced the ES6 has there are many few things we will discuss. First, we will see the history of the ECMAScript standards. So basically, the ECMAScript defines the rules and features syntax that scripting language should follow, and they are the standard developed and maintained by the ICMA International and international standard organizations. So you can see the first edition of the standard released in the 1997 laid the foundation for the JavaScript language, which was the ES1 ECMAScript 1. Then in the 1998, there is the minor updates and correction made. So it was the ES2. Then in the 1999, it's released the ES3. ES3 brought significant improvements, added features to the JavaScript. Then ES4 was originally under development but was ultimately abandoned due to the disagreements with the development community. Mm, Then ES5 was released 2009 and introduced new features and methods like strict mode and the JSON improvements. Then ES6 released in the 2015 was a major update to the ECMAScript standard, bringing many new features such as the late const, arrow functions, classes, and modes. So we'll see those in the next slide. So you can see the key features and enhancements in the ES6. First is the late and const. Introduced the block scope variables with the late and const. Late is used for the mutable variables and const is used for the immutable variables. Then next we have the arrow functions. Arrow functions provide concise syntax for deleting defining functions, making it easier to write functions with minimal boilerplate code. They also capture the surroundings, this value, which can be helpful in certain situations. Next, we have the template literals. Template literals basically allow for the easy string interpolation and multi-line string using the backtricks. So we'll see later in this video in detail. Then we have the destructuring assignment. ES6 introduced destructuring, which allows you to extract values from objects and arrays into variables. Next, we have the classes. So you can say, the JavaScript is an object-oriented language. So ES6 introduced the class syntax for creating objects and a constructor, making it easier to work with the object-oriented in the JavaScript. Next, we have the modules. ES6 introduces standardized module systems, allowing you to create the reusable modules, export, import functionality between different parts of your code. So can your code uh, uh, your code can be modular. Also, not putting all the things in one single file. By modulating the code base, you can split this into the different files. Next, we have the default parameters. You can now specify the default values for the function parameters, making it more convenient when calling functions. Distance spread operators. The three dot and the spread over three dot auto operators provide a way to work with the variable length, argument, list, and arrays. So we will explain all those things details with examples and the coding. So next we have the promises. Promises is very useful. It provides a more structured way to work with asynchronous operations and handle errors. We have the symbol data types. Symbols are a new primitive data types that is used for to create unique object properties. Iterators and generators. ES6 introduced the concept of the iterators and generators, making it easier to work with collection of data. Map and set we have. So ES6 introduced new data structure map and sets which are more versatile than traditional objects and arrays. Uh, so etc. Other than these 12 things, we also have the enhanced object literals, new array methods, string methods. So we will see later. So before jump into the ES6 concept, those 12 things, first I will start with the introduction of the var keyword. So var is basically in JavaScript keyword is used to declare a variable. Before the advent of the ES6 var declaration was rule actually. There but there are issues associated with the variables declared with var. That's why the late and const came. First, we will go to understand get to understand var more before we discuss those issues. So we will discuss about the features or the properties of the var. First is the scope of the var. So we will discuss about the scope of by example. So jump into the VS Code then. So let me first create a JavaScript file, global scope of var. So scope essentially means where these variables are available for use. So where declaration are globally scoped or the function or the locally scoped. So the scope is global when var variable is declared outside a function. So you can see the global var here declared outside a function. Any variable that is declared with var outside a function block is available for use in the whole window. So in the whole window you can use inside a function, you can use outside a function. So if I execute this, so you can see it's printed inside a function I am global and outside a function I am global. Next, we have the local scope. So let me create a function, create a file local scope of var. So var is function scoped or the locally scoped when it is declared within a function. This means that it is available and can be accessed only within that functions. So if I execute this, so you can see it's giving me the reference error local var is not defined. So it's locally scoped. That is it's live inside this function scope. Outside this function, it's not accessible. Next, we have the var variables can be redeclared and updated. This also we will see by example. So jump into the VS Code again. Let's create a file, redeclare. So you can see here the greeting variables we declare with the var. So it's allowing redeclaration. So here we declare with say hi and we redeclare this same variables as say hello instant. Let's execute this code and you can see it's getting the updated one. So it's possible. Next we have the update. Okay. So it's similar to the previous one. Instead of this, we didn't redeclare this. We update the variables. So update the value. First it was say hi, and now it's say hello instead. So if I console log here, so you can see first it was say hi, and then it say hello instead. So it's allowing the redeclaration and the updation. Next, we have the hosting of var. The hosting is a JavaScript mechanism where variables and function declaration are moved to the top of their scope before the code execution. So we will also see in the VS Code with the example. So if I execute this code, so you can see it's printed undefined. Variables declared with var are here hosted at the uh, top of their containing function or the global scope. This means that even if you declare a variable at the bottom of the function, it is effectively moved to the top during execution. So it will be interpreted like this. If you interpret these things, it will be interpreted like this. So var supports the hosting. Now, next we will come to the problems with var. The using the var keyword in JavaScript has some common issues that can lead to the unexpected behavior. First, it's the variable wasting. We just saw the wasting thing, so we'll see what is the problem with the wasting. So in this example, you can see the x is declared and initialized within the function, but due to the hoisting, the variable declaration moved to the top of the function. This means that x is accessible throughout the function even before it's officially declared. However, its value is undefined until it assigns the value hello. Next problem is the no block scoping. We will see by example. So if I execute this, so you can see here the inside if is declared inside the if block. Inside the if block it's declared, but it's still accessible outside of the block, which is not what you might expect. So this is the another problem with the var. Next problem is the global scope pollution. So we'll see by example. So if you see here the global scope of var, the global var is declared the outside. If you declare a variable using var without any function scope or the block scope, it becomes a global variable, potentially leading to the variable naming conflicts and unexpected behaviors. It's a global variable become the global and it can be accessed and modified from anywhere in the code. Next, we have the redeclaration allowed. So if you see here the redeclaration, the greetings, so the variable declared with the var can be redeclared within the same scope. So here the greetings is first declare with the say hi, then it's again declared the say hello instead, without any error of warning. This can lead to the accidental overwriting of variables. So for these issues, For these problems or issues, we introduced ES6 introduced the late and const declares, and late allows the block scoping and the const is used to the declare constants. These declares are largely replaced var in modern JavaScript development to avoid the problems associated with the var. So introduction is, so late is now preferred of the variable declaration. So because the late is the block scoped, we will see how it's block scoped by example. So if I take the same example here, and if I make it late, and if I execute it, so you can see inside if is not a function. So basically we outside of the block, outside of the if block, the inside if is not permissible. So the let variable is blocks code. So variable declared in a block with let is only available for use within that block. The outside it's not accessible. And if I execute again the no block scoping of the var, I am accessible outside. You can see the example, the difference. Next, late can be updated but not redeclared. So we will also see these things by examples and compare with the var. It will behave same like the update var if I execute it. Say hi and say hello instead. And next the redeclare var. But it will throw error. So Visual Studio Code already pointing this error that cannot redeclare block scope variable greeting. The late is block scope. It's when it's declared in the in this scope, the we can't redeclare this. If I execute, it will give me the same result. So you can't redeclare the late. Next we have the wasting of late. So you can see, just like var, the late declares are hosted to the top, but the unlike var, which is initialized at the undefined, the late keyword is not initialized. So if you try to use the late variable before declare, you will get the reference error. So it's not allowing the hoisting, the late not allowing the hoisting. So after late, we have the const, the variable declared with the const, maintain constant values. Const declaration shares some similarities with the late declaration, like the const declaration at the also the block scope. We will see by example. Mm. So you can see the similar to the late const. Sorry, I have to make it const. So you can see the similar to the late the const also the block scoped. The variable declare with const is available inside the block. Outside the block is not available. Next, const cannot be updated or the redeclared. So we can't update it or we redeclared it. So you can see the assignment to the constant variable is the type error. So you can't assign to the constant variable. So it not allowing the updation. And if you redeclared, redeclare is also not possible in case of the const. We can see. So if I come to the conclusion, what is the difference between the var late and const? Var declaration are the globally scoped or the function or the locally scoped, while late and const are the block scoped. Where variables can be updated and redeclared within its scope. Late variables can be updated but not redeclared. Const variables can neither be updated nor redeclared. They are all hosted to the top of their scope, but while var variables are initialized with undefined, late and const variables are not initialized, it will throw error. While var and late can be declared without being initialized, const must be initialized during the declaration. Okay, that's all for this video. We will see the later. We'll see the pending things or the other ES6 concepts like the arrow function, template, literals, destructuring, and all the things in the later videos. So we'll meet again. Thank you.